Hello everybody, welcome to FPL in the Trenches. I'm your host this week, Jonathan CT Martin. Something came up last minute for Scott and Beerme, so they were unavailable to record, but luckily I am stepping in today to give our final preview for Forbidden Door. We're going to have some match announcements for Money in the Bank and Heatwave, and then we are also going to draw the names, spin the wheel, and draw the teams for the round 2 of the FPL Olympic Challenge. There's a lot to get through today. I'm going to go kind of quickly because I'm not even in the best state myself, but it's been a long week. But we're still here doing In the Trenches. You love to see it. Let's start with FPL Forbidden Door. For the third year in a row, we have Forbidden Door. Easily our biggest Forbidden Door yet. I don't actually have the exact number of names, but I mean, there's a lot of outsiders' names. There's more titles on the line than ever. It's a very, very exciting show. And while normally Scott and Beerme would go through match by match and give you the predictions, give you the breakdown, I could do that, but I don't think anyone just wants to hear me ramble for that long. So what I will recommend, if you're in the Discord, and if you're not in the Discord, if there's anyone joining us from any other leagues, you can definitely be invited to the Discord, let us know. But on the Discord and news postings, every year, we release the full main show preview for Forbidden Door, and this year, like I said, it's bigger than ever. This gives you exact details on where someone is from, what the story going into the match is, what the purpose of the match is. I really tried to build a card this year that had as many people as possible relevant, enjoying the fun. I think that's always kind of the double-edged sword with Forbidden Door, is while it is really exciting to have outsiders come in, it also means there are some people in the FPL who sadly don't get that chance and they have to be on the Kickoff show. This year we really try to make it to where everyone is involved at least as much as possible. And I think we have a really, really fun card here. But again, if you want to break it down every single match, you can go through, and like I said, you can see exactly 2 rares from LLR. You can see their singles record against each other. This one actually has history. Most of them are just 0-0. And then you can talk about the entire history. This is your best guide to figure out what is happening exactly at Forbidden Door. Just some highlights we'll go through. Scott is obviously getting his rematch with 2 rare. Incredibly exciting. I remember I was trying to figure out, because behind the scenes, I do a lot of the Forbidden Door booking. We just figure it's easier when you're dealing with so many outsiders to have kind of one voice doing it all. But there was always Scott always starts us off and, okay, could be a fun name for Scott. This could be a fun name for Scott. And then 2 rare came up. And with Scott's whole gimmick right now of doing the list of names he's never beaten before, 2 rare is perfect to be on that list. So I thought that was really, really fun. And then just keep going through, again, just kind of hitting the highlights. I'll also mention as we get to this match, the Wolfpack versus Team Glee. I do apologize. There were some card updates in the last week with things previously announced. Specifically, this match kind of got altered quite a bit. And I know that disappointed some people. Again, I apologize. Behind the scenes, just to be really explicit, we changed how we booked Forbidden Door this year. Normally, we reach out to individuals in the leagues, asking, hey, do you want to be part of this? But this year, we decided to try something else, and we went to the mods and the booking teams and owners of all these different leagues to ask if they want participation. So because of that, we got some cool things, like we have more titles on the line, we have more participation, we've been able to do some more crossover stuff, like specifically LLR has done a lot with us. But at the same time, that means we've kind of been subjected to some of their booking styles and booking choices, which is not better or worse than ours. It's just a different style at times when it comes to timelines and when it comes to ideas. So you will see if you go down like Larry's double booked here, we probably would not have booked that way, but they did. So that is fine. We will roll with it. But just little things like that. So we didn't know Mr. Glee and Woe, Manic and Brian Gleeful, would be in this title match. So we did not have any indication of that. So we booked them in this, we talked to them, okay, that sounds great. Then they're in that title match. So instead of having 5 people do double duty, we just switched it around. So again, if you were one of those people and you're like, oh, I really was excited for that, I apologize greatly for that, but again, it's kind of one of those things with Forbidden Door. The other alternative is you do what AEW does in real life, and you just don't really announce much until the week of, and then there's no build, and I personally like more build for stuff, so it's kind of, again, you can't win. It's a lose-lose situation, but at least we still have a fun card. So that's kind of a win, I guess. But Wolfpack versus Team Glee or Team Mac and Cheese, whatever they end up being. Obviously, a lot of issues with Hunter Williams and Ralentendo. We know they'll have their final singles encounter at Heatwave, so building that up. Obviously great to see Zachariah Prince back and Mark Steele, who I believe is sticking around after Forbidden Door, so that's really exciting. Camp Popplestone versus Daggerclaw is one I'm extremely excited about. Daggerclaw is the former Mad Cat who was the first individual to walk through the FPL Forbidden Door. In the main event of our first Forbidden Door event, he defeated FPL World Champion CJ Hawk. At the second Forbidden Door event, he led his team to beat FBU in War Games. He's every single Forbidden Door just come and kind of defeated the best that the FPL has. Cam Popplestone and Watson Rules, it's a really uphill challenge. I mean, not a lot of people can beat Cam and Watson Rules matches, but Daggerclaw has the history to, like, just beat him, which would be kind of insane. But I love that. I love that story. And I love the story that Cam is, like, fighting for the FPL. I love this. I love this match. McKennedy going in a non-title encounter with LLR World Champion Dealer Tokes, that's fun. Jonathan C.T. Martin versus Redhead 12, a ladder match for the 420 championship. Of course, I'm excited to go 3-0 against Red in the league. That's always exciting. We have our annual now tradition of doing a Forbidden Door Survivor Series match. Instead of doing FPL Outsiders versus Team FPL, we mixed it up a bit. I like that there is a blend on this card from, like, integrating Outsiders here, where there's some on each side. And then if you look at, the trios tag match here, you have Team FPL, you have Team IWP, you basically have Team TWPL, even though they're technically Firing Squad. I love that there is that kind of mixture of booking styles here, where it's not all just, like, brand warfare. There is also, or company warfare, there's also some things here where it's, like, mixed up a bit. Of course, you have the double LLR title matches, the Hardcore Championship with Big Pole defending against Sir Larry and El Fuego Birdo defending against Manic and Brian Gleeful. So I love seeing those title matches. Speaking of title matches, we'll just jump ahead. FPW Dominion Championship, Beer Me Jesus defending against David's Grayskull. Incredibly fun opportunities there. We had the LLR World title last year, and it's just something that's really fun. The idea that we have these other titles, both forever in our history books, they will be here, but also we will always be involved in their history books. Then it's just very meaningful in a way that I really appreciate. RGX and Slowbro JJ have been absolutely killing it in character chat. We've never, I think, had for Forbidden Door quite as heated and consistent character interactions and build in that sense. So to see that throughout this year, I mean, obviously, again, LLR has done a ton of write-up work, and, if you go to the LLR Reddit page, they've been doing promos and stuff. It's very fun. But undoubtedly, I think RGX and Slowbro JJ have really kind of elevated this and kind of made this maybe the most heated match of the week. It's very hard, if you're keeping up with that, not to get excited for this, and I'm excited to see how that match goes. FBU taking on Black Dragon Empire. Black Dragon Empire will also be taking on Just For Lads, which I'm excited for. And of course, the main event, non-title match, FPL World Champion James Blake taking on IWP Ares Champion Karma. Interesting non-title encounter. Karma, obviously a champion in IWP, but also put TWPL as the company he's representing. We don't have the best streak in main events at Forbidden Door for the FPL person going over, but also it's James Blake, and it's really hard to beat James Blake. You might get him to a no contest, but it's really rare that you actually beat him, so we will see. But again, this is not all the matches. If you really want to go into every single one, you can find all the story here. And I would recommend taking a look. I don't assume many people will read all, 10 pages of this, but it is there if you are interested. Now let's move on. So Forbidden Door, that is this Sunday. Get your predictions in on the prediction page. And I must say, there has never been a prediction page in the history of doing prediction leagues, both for JRPL and FPL, where it's been as difficult to figure out what to put on this prediction page. Specifically, there is currently a lot of confusion. So first off, if you're an outsider and you're not used to this, what I will say is how you do this is every single match you pick who you think is going to win. So I think Will Ospreay is going to win, let's say. And then you have all these confidence points. You can only use each number once. So if I'm like, oh, I really don't know, I'm going to put only 1 on this, then I cannot put 1 for any others. I will have to resubmit, or you will get a lower score because it won't count. So please only use each point once. The points are how many points you're going to get if you get the match correct. So if you only put 1, that means if you're correct and Will Ospreay wins, you're only going to get 1 point. If you put 12, then you're going to get 12 points. So you want to put the higher numbers on the ones you're most confident on. There's also bonus points at the bottom. These are not tiebreakers. These are bonus points, so these will be counted no matter what. I believe we have 5 of them, correct? Yeah, we have 5 bonus points. But there is some confusion right now about the card. So, okay, so I like how I've done the same intro to this twice, and I've got distracted both times by the same thing. If you notice, there are bits here where it's like the ladder match. Where is the ladder match? Here, to be announced. We know who that is going to be. These prediction pages go on what is official on TV, what's aired. So we don't look ahead for spoilers, and we don't put prediction pages out due to that. So like, just know if you're like, but we know who that is. Why is it like that? That's just how the FPL does it. There is another option there. So if you think that person's going to win, you can put other. But let's talk about the kind of controversy in a way. So on the page, we have Chris Jericho versus Suzuki for the FTW Championship. We also have the tag team match with the Learning Tree, which is just put as Big Bill, question mark, versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. It is very unclear off Dynamite what is actually happening at Forbidden Door. If you look into spoiler stuff, it seems pretty clear that a tag match is happening. But they had, if you did not watch Dynamite, they had this segment where Jericho came out and Brian Keith is injured, I believe, and he says, like, oh, I found the perfect partner for Forbidden Door because we need someone else to fill in because it's going to be Big Bill, Jericho, and blank. So here's a video package. It's going to be Minoru Suzuki. And Suzuki is like, okay, I see why you'd want to tag with me at Forbidden Door, but I'm not interested in tagging. Instead, I actually want to face you one-on-one. And how it's worded makes it really seem like it's Forbidden Door. Though, again, no one also, like, people are not really counting this as being on the card, though it seems like it's at Forbidden Door. And then also then the Joe, Hook, and Shibata came out, and even AEW tweeted like, oh, the tag match is still on. So it's really unclear if Jericho's wrestling twice, if someone else is filling in for him on the tag match, if him and Suzuki is somewhere else other than Forbidden Door, but then why was the video package like that? It's really unclear. We went back and forth. We waited for AEW to give confirmation. Of course, they did not. Their website's not even updated to include MJF. So, you know, we're doing our best and we're having both. If it is in fact confirmed that it's not happening at Forbidden Door either match, we will pull it. You don't have to worry about that. We'll adjust the confidence points. If it is confirmed for Forbidden Door and then it still doesn't happen, then you'll just get a 0 on it, so be aware for that. But easily, like I said, you know, we've been running these since, 2020, I want to say. Maybe 2019, actually. There's never been a situation this confusing, and AEW, for some reason, just really did not clarify at the time of recording. So hopefully they clarify soon and we can just roll on. But like even then they posted a graphic just before I recorded this that showed all the matches on the main show, and they didn't have the tag match, even though they said the tag match was on Dynamite. And then with spoilers, it seems like we know the tag match is still happening. So like we don't know what the truth is, but we are trying our best with what AEW gives. So apologize for any confusion there. With that, let's move on from Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door again this Sunday. Please get predictions in. It's a big show. It should be a lot of fun. But the FPL schedule in this just genuinely killer summer, where it's been big show after big show after big show, you know, going from FPL 100 to Forbidden Door is crazy. But then we have Money in the Bank. July 6th from Toronto. I don't have a lot to announce here, but let's get through our 2 announcements. So first will be the new match, and then we will go on to talk about the Olympic Challenge. So that first match that we are announcing, being in Canada, and being the troll he is, GMSG has asked for a Watson rules match against Atlas Kiama. We know that Black Dragon Empire and FBU have had a lot of struggle recently, a lot of back and forth with the tag titles and such. Atlas Kiyama asked for singles opportunities with GM RGX, and it seems like that has been signed. So we will see GMSG versus Atlas Kiyama one-on-one in Toronto under Watson rules. And now let's go to the Olympic Challenge. So if you are not aware, the Olympic Challenge round 1 was at FPL 100. The team of Memories, Mac and Cheese, Eli, and the Gaffer moved on. So that team now gets broken into 2 tag teams, so a traditional tag team match. And those teams are decided by random draw. So let's go ahead, let's draw those people. Okay. So we have the wheel here. I don't think this is the same wheel that Scott uses, but you know what? It's the wheel that CT uses, and CT's doing it today. So let's spin the wheel. Let's see who is going to be the first team captain. So the first team captain will be Mac and Cheese. So we have Team Mac and Cheese will be on one side. Let's get it official. Perfect. Let's remove him. So now the next person will be the other team captain on the other side. So we have Team Mac and Cheese taking on Team... Team Memories again. Mac and Cheese and Eli have a bit of an alliance, it seems, despite being on the opposite side of Forbidden Door tags. So let's see now who is on Team Mac and Cheese. Who will be teaming with Mac and Cheese against Memories and the other person left on this wheel? Obviously, Eli would be the best story-wise, but let's see what happens. Hey, they did it. So it's going to be Team Mac and Cheese and Eli taking on Team Memories, which is Memories and the Gaffer, a last-minute replacement for the tournament. Let's just do that to be official. The Gaffer. Cool. Well, that's probably about as good as you can do story-wise. Well, congrats, Eli. I know in character chat he's been building up him and Mac and Cheese. An interesting dynamic considering they're on opposite sides of Forbidden Door. There they are. So we will see what happens at Money in the Bank. But the very next night, we're continuing in Canada with Heatwave. And we actually have 3 matches for Heatwave, and 2 of them kind of bleed over from what we already announced for Money in the Bank. Atlas Kiyama wants singles opportunities, and RGX has granted him another one at Heatwave. Atlas Kiyama will be going one-on-one with Stone Collective 2.0's Jackson Myrtle. Also on the card, GMSG again wants a Canadian superstar in Canada under Watson rules. He will get a singles match with Mac and Cheese. And finally for Heatwave, an interesting one that was requested, I believe, here on Trenches in the comment section a while ago. The Strays collide, both from Canada, but long-term tag team here. They're still a tag team. Nothing is breaking up between them that we know of. But one-on-one, Michael Marsh will be taking on Supreme Rock. So some big matches coming your way. Again, a crazy schedule. You go from, Backlash was big, Dynasty was big, King and Queen of the Ring, Double or Nothing weekend. That weekend is always big for the FPL. Then you go into FPL 100, maybe our biggest show of all time, truly like WrestleMania level, and then you get Forbidden Door. Then you get Money in the Bank and Heatwave, which is a fun double weekend. FPL in Canada always is kind of fun, going back to like Elimination Chamber with Escobar and Monkey Bong. That's always been a big place for us, is when we go to Canada, and we're still there because we have Slammiversary, and that's the final show before SummerSlam. We're literally like almost to SummerSlam, and then we go from there. It doesn't stop. We go to All In, we go to Bash in Berlin, we go to All Out, and it just keeps going and keeps going. But that's fun, these big shows, they're fun, they're good opportunities. And really, the road to SummerSlam is upon us. So it'll be interesting to see over the next few shows what really gets built up for our second biggest show of the year, technically. I will say I think people should be a little bit fair about expectations with SummerSlam, considering we did just do Clash of the Castle, which was legitimately, I think, like WrestleMania level. I think it probably was maybe our best show of all time. So SummerSlam might not seem... it's going to be a big show. I don't know what I'm saying. It's still going to be a big show, but... it's going to be it's been a busy time in the FPL, but it's going to be more fun moving forward. Again, Forbidden Door, though, this Sunday. Get your picks in. Thank you, Scott and Beer Me, for letting me host this week and stepping in for you guys when you could not. I assume they'll be back next week to discuss the fallout of Forbidden Door and then give the final matches for Money in the Bank and Heatwave. Thank you so much for watching FPL in the Trenches. Go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff. And we will see you, they will see you, hopefully, next week. Goodbye.